Apparently, Sharina Hudson finds comfort in others' concerns, and she is the most upbeat when she observes Wendy Williams' life and vocation going down as per Sharina. All Wendy's momentum disasters is just karma returning, and there will be evidently more issues to manage later on, kid. I generally realized no good thing would emerge from Sharina's mouth, yet this appears to be another degree of dauntlessness. Yet will Sharina be the last individual to giggle in the story? We should figure out. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live channel. I keep my eyes on the most talked about occasions in the entertainment biz, and continuously present to you the most sizzling updates. So it seems like Sharina Hudson at last quit trusting that Wendy's cash will land in her pockets, and she found comfort in bragging over Wendy's concern sources. Guarantee that Sharina fundamentally go praise each time when the report about Wendy's inconveniences hit the titles, and tragically, we had a ton of terrible charges about the previous television moderator in the new 2 or 3 weeks, beginning with the crossing out of her hotly anticipated digital recording, and finishing with the bits of gossip about her selling all that and drinking vigorously. As there is no unmistakable data about what's happening in Wendy's life, her companions and delegate give the media very questionable statements, with her companion saying it's peculiar in light of the fact that she is saying there is no web recording, but on the other hand, it's telling individuals she will get back to television. It's difficult to sort out what is situated truly, and Williams' rep rushed to quiet this multitude of claims, expressing that every one of Wendy's ventures are currently in the last phases of creation and would be sent off soon. I mean, folks, this consistent postponements are dubious. So then again, there is Wendy's sibling Tommy, who as of late freely pummeled her supervisory group for shooting an unscripted TV drama, regardless of his sister's miserable condition, which just demonstrates that Wendy isn't in her best state. Well, whatever is happening with Wendy, one thing's certain, she isn't feeling great and needs additional opportunity to recuperate before she begins dealing with anything, and keeping in mind that Sharina herself is most certainly not living her greatest days, being sliced off and not ready to burn through a huge number of dollars she had never procured. She actually figures out how to see the good side in her life. And you imagine that she is appreciating being a mother and a life partner of Kevin Hunter. Clutch your seats when I let you know that the greatest delight in this lady's life is seeing Wendy's enduring. Clearly, Sharina felt that her own dark streak in life is at last finished, and it's breezy go to encounter what it seems like being at the lower part of life. Like, I essentially see this despicable grin all over when she opens the news and peruses one more piece of awful news about Wendy, and even offers this with Kevin over family breakfast. Well, I really anticipated a smidgen more regard from this lady. Yet since she initially dated Wendy Williams by means of her Instagram story, clearly everybody needs disappointment is to a great extent celebrated by Sharina and Kevin. You recall that monstrous and dreadful story Hudson shared. She composed cheerful and solid. Is all I'm on right now. The misleading content is genuine. I surmise they need the storyline to go on for a digital broadcast. Well, there supposedly will not be any digital broadcast after all, which just fulfills Sharina due to many reasons. Most importantly, we don't get to hear Wendy's side of things and the entire story of how Sharina had been sucking cash from her through Kevin Hunter for over 10 years. Well, it's never been a mysterious that the lavish way of life that has was showing couldn't be supported by her hotcakes or back rubs. There was a lot of riches, and an excessive number of costly things she was unable to bear the cost of herself, and everybody knew was truly paying for these things. Since Wendy was the only one with genuine abundance in the story, the normal gossip was that her ex Kevin Hunter had burned through several thousands on costly gifts for his courtesan, including precious stones, creator Saks vehicles, as well as effective financial planning, her different organizations. And it seems like Sharina needn't bother with that extravagance any longer, since she is genuinely glad to see someone else in torment. And what obviously gives more the highest level of pleasure to this young lady is the possibility that Wendy is being rebuffed by karma for removing Kevin, and in a real sense making his and Sharina too broke, assuming this lady has faith in karma. Presumably, she misjudges the whole idea, since Wendy has never been the antagonist in this story well. I would never comprehend individuals who are at the lower part of their life themselves, yet find fulfillment in seeing others in a tough situation. It could be the ideal opportunity for Kevin Hunter to open his eyes and see the real essence of the lady he is living and bringing up a youngster, with many individuals currently express their interests about Sharina being excessively fixated on Wendy's life, as though she has no issues of her own. Even in the wake of getting all that she needed at Kevin Hunter, forever living with her, she didn't quit thinking and discussing Williams. As one of my endorsers, composed young lady needs to get a rude awakening. Without a doubt, the nerve of that be to express anything about Wendy. I simply trust Wendy endures this poop. And someone else added, Sharina is crazy she got Kevin and farewell cash from Wendy. Sharina ought to return to work, either doing hair or gold. Yet her nookie back on the walk and catch another bonehead like Kevin. Well, that is unquestionably evident. Sharina has been partaking in her portion of extravagance and abundance for additional 15 years. All the time she was laying down with a wedded man. And despite the fact that I previously heard about Sharina's presence in the midst of the report about Wendy and Kevin's separation, her relationship with Hunter began significantly further back than what I had naturally suspected the radio personality. And William's huge companion Charlemagne. The god uncovered that it was he who acquainted Sharina with Kevin in those days. Charlemagne was likewise companions with Sharina Hudson and Kevin Hunter. Yet as it generally happens, the French couldn't endure the untidy show after Sharina and Kevin began covertly dating. And Kevin quit fooling around with his side relationship with her. He even became envious of her fellowship with Charlemagne. And ultimately, the radio personality's correspondence with every one of them through Wendy herself. And these several lovebirds got very horrendous as Charlemagne uncovered in his meeting to page 6 the explanation, Kevin Hunter. And I dropped out, and the motivation behind why I don't speak with Wendy any longer is a direct result of Sharina. Kevin lashed out on the grounds that he thought Sharina enjoyed one of my homeboys, and he felt that I was connecting Sharina with different men. This entire circumstance with Sharina Hudson is only one awful episode of how a continuous relationship might transform into the wreck and ruin many individuals without a moment's delay. Not just have some long-lasting connections been demolished, yet it likewise impacted Wendy's profession, Kevin's business, and surprisingly harmed the existence of their child, Kevin Hunter Jr., who was removed from his loft in Miami and had to stop his college to deal with his mother's well-being. I mean, folks, there's sufficient wreck with next to no extra show in the story. And it seems like no inward feeling of harmony is coming to any of the members of this present circumstance. So hearing the bits of gossip about Sharina bragging over Wendy's ongoing disasters isn't just sort of miserable, yet it likewise makes me question Sharina's poisonous nature. I know that neither of them is currently carrying on with their best life, and they attempt to manage ceaseless disappointment and pressure the most effective way they can, yet being blissful when somebody damages and experiences more than you do is really contemptible. Well, as it was said, nothing gives Sharina more pleasure than seeing Wendy having a larger number of difficulties than she has. And I can't reject that Williams is the individual who got harmed most in the story. Her 22 years marriage went down the channel for the time being, and her vocation on television has been destroyed. It appears to be that Sharina gets some sort of fulfillment seeing Wendy's causing problems over and over, and in her poisonous brain it, some way or another, demonstrates the way that without Kevin close by, Wendy can't achieve anything. And Sharina got her proof that this large number of words about Hunter truly being the influence behind Wendy's prosperity are valid. I wagered Sharina is sitting tight for her opportunity to be appropriately delivered by Kevin and transformed into a superstar. Well, and Wendy's digital recording wiping out is even in support of Sharina. She can hardly trust that this embarrassment with divorce settlement will be quieted, so she can race through the positions and land on top with her own venture, yet Wendy perhaps be back at the center of attention any second, since she previously demonstrated it takes in excess of several dramatizations to get her far from the stage. So we might hear Wendy triumphing when it's all said and done very soon. And all Sharina's passing snapshots of satisfaction will transform into another dissatisfaction and outrage, which she will definitely take out on Kevin. Many individuals fail to see the reason why Sharina continues to commit such a large amount her significant investment to think